Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Welcome to the graduation ceremony at the University of Akron. Please take a moment now to identify the nearest exit to you so you can safely exit the building if it should become necessary to do so. Out of respect for the dignity of this ceremony, we ask that you turn off your cell phone, pager, or other personal communication or entertainment devices. Please refrain from using personal communication devices during the ceremony. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding of this request. Our graduation ceremony will begin in a few moments.
Candidates, please be seated. Mr. President, the candidates are assembled.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to extend a most cordial welcome to all who have joined us for this 216th Commencement Ceremonies of the University of Akron. The fall class of 2015 consists of 1,441 candidates from 27 states and 23 countries. This group includes 50 candidates for doctoral degrees, 39 for Juris Doctor degrees, 304 for master's degrees, 896 for bachelor's degrees, and 212 for associate degrees. Welcome, graduates, and welcome to the parents, spouses, relatives, and friends who have helped to make this day of achievement and who share your pride in this celebration. We'll begin with a few important introductions. First and foremost, we are joined by representatives of our more than 700 distinguished faculty, including this ceremony's Grand Marshal, Associate Dean of the College of Business Administration, Dr. James DeVokie. Will our faculty please rise and be recognized? We are honored to have with us members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Akron. I ask that they stand as I call their names and remain standing, and we hold our applause until all have been introduced. First, the Vice Chairman of the Board, Ms. Jennifer E. Blickel of Akron. Vice Chair, Mr. Roland H. Bauer of Silver Lake, and Ms. Olivia P. DeMoss of Richfield. Those trustees who serve by gubernatorial appointment are joined on the board by two prominent leaders in our region, selected for their acumen and expertise. One is with us today. Advisory Trustee, Mrs. Sandra Pianalto of Akron. Now please join me in greeting our trustees. University of Akron administration also is represented today by several members of the leadership team. I would ask them to please stand and be recognized at this time. This time, I'd like to ask Mr. Roland Bauer, Vice Chair of the University of Akron Board of Trustees, to extend greeting on behalf of the board. Mr. Pavlov.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. On behalf of the University of Akron's Board of Trustees, I offer a warm welcome to our guests, and especially to the Fall 2015 graduating class. Graduates, you are the sole reason why this university exists, and we thank you for entrusting us with your higher education. You had many options from which to choose, and we hope that your Akron experience has proven that you chose wisely. In addition to conveying our gratitude, we want you to know that we appreciate and applaud your accomplishments here. Through great effort and perseverance, you have seized opportunities to broaden and sharpen your thinking, expand your worldview, attain professional and personal growth, and become educated citizens. Now you will have more and greater opportunities to thrive, to contribute, and to serve. My fellow trustees and I wish that the journey awaiting you will be filled with good health, good fortune, and continued success, and will, from time to time, lead you back here to your alma mater. We are honored to join with your families, friends, and faculty in celebrating this important milestone. Congratulations. And in closing, on behalf of the board, I want to wish our graduates and their families and all of our guests a joyous and peaceful holiday.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's address to the graduates will be delivered by Daniel Ishii. He is president of Ishii Investment Consultants and a graduate of the University of Akron class of 1992. His full biography is provided in your program, so please allow me to share with you just a few highlights of his career. After earning a bachelor's degree in accounting here, Mr. Ishii began a successful business career that included sales, wealth management, and investment consultation. He also is very involved in his community, serving on the Wadsworth City Council, the Chamber of Commerce, the Wadsworth Public Library Foundation, and other organizations. He is a devoted alumnus who has maintained links to his alma mater and has generously supported it with his time, his talent, and his treasure. Graduates, please give your attention to this highly accomplished and successful alumnus. Mr. Ishii, will you please step forward and address the graduates?
Congratulations, you've made it to graduation. That is quite an achievement. In a few moments, you'll understand why I really do feel that that is quite an achievement. For now, let me just say, I was supposed to graduate in May of 1992. Just like you're graduating tonight, I was supposed to graduate in May 1992. Some of you tonight, you're graduating and you might feel that your road ahead is very clear. We all have a road of life that we're going to travel, and you might see a road that's paved and straight. You feel that the degree that you've earned is the right degree, you're on the right path, the right type of job, the right career. That's the way I felt in December of 1991. Now, some of the other people here might not feel that way. You might feel that the road looks a little different. It may not look paved to you. It may have some bumps. It may have some twists and turns. You might not be able to see that far down the road. You might be questioning a little bit of, did I get the right degree? I'm graduating tonight. I'm glad to graduate, but I don't know if the degree I have is the right degree for me. I don't know if that career path is the one that I've chosen. The one that I've chosen is going to be the right one for me. I'd like to say that I think both of those attitudes are a little bit wrong, and I'd like to explain to you why I feel that way. Several years ago, for most of you, you probably walked in your first class here at the University of Akron. I had that same experience. Mine was just probably about 25 years earlier than yours. And I came to the University of Akron after a high school career where I was our high school quarterback. I played basketball, I was in student government, and I was inducted to the National Honor Society. I felt pretty good about myself. But I walked in that first class at the University of Akron, and you start to meet some of the other students, and I said where I grew up, Little Pymatuning, well, I didn't say Little, I said Pymatuning Valley High School. And the person had no idea what I was talking about. So I thought, well, maybe this person just doesn't understand all about these different high schools. So the next person, and then the next person, the next 20 people, nobody had heard of my high school. So I started to figure out, you know what, Dan, you're just a freshman again. Let's just face that reality. You're a freshman again, and we're starting over. It doesn't really matter what happened in high school. So I thought, well, what I did in high school is I was involved in a lot of different student organizations, and I went through some different leadership roles there, and I thought that was a nice way to go. So I decided to join a fraternity. The fraternity Phi Gamma Delta, a friend of mine, joined the first semester. My second semester, I joined. Anybody out there that is in the Greek system, hopefully everybody on campus has noticed the Fijis and their purple jackets. I'm assuming they still wear those today. I should probably know that. Now, I think the guys are really kind of a good-looking group of guys, but I don't think they're quite as good-looking as the group that I graduated with, but I don't want to get into that debate right now. So as you join the fraternity and start to get to know some of the people, and just naturally start to gravitate to certain people that you know, like, and respect. And some of the older guys that I was gravitating towards and that I liked and respected, they all were accounting majors. And I came from a small school. I really didn't know what I wanted to major in, so I was open. And I took a couple accounting classes, and I thought, you know, this is for me. So I decided at the right time to declare that my degree is going to be in accounting. So I'm on my path. I'm having fun. I'm doing well in college. And as you guys know, those years go by fast. I mean, here we are tonight. You're all graduating, and it goes by fast. I woke up one morning, and I realized I'm in my last year of college. Now, some of that sounds kind of exciting. I'm not going to have to go to class anymore. I'm not going to have to study. The other part of it didn't sound so good. I'm going to have to go from being a college student and move into the real world. I'm going to have to start working. Well, at this point in time, I couldn't really do much. I didn't have a job, so I had to start interviewing. So that fall, I started interviewing with several different companies in accounting. There was one company, Sherwin-Williams, that I was going pretty far in the process of interviewing. Now, Sherwin-Williams, most of you guys probably have heard of Sherwin-Williams. They're the painting company, the coatings company based in Cleveland, Ohio. Their world headquarters are based in Cleveland, Ohio, less than an hour from where we all are right now. I was pretty excited about the job. The job was an internal auditor. Now, I grew up in a small town. When I came to the University of Akron, the city of Akron seemed like a pretty big town to me. I was the type of kid, I grew up, I was baling hay, I was doing those type of things. So I was ready for that internal auditing job because part of the job early on is they move you away. You might move to Dallas, you might move to Seattle, you might move to Boston. It didn't really matter. I was going to move to another town, but I could see down the road that most likely I would end up back in Cleveland, Ohio, where my family and friends would be, and I thought this was a great opportunity. So I get to my final interview, And at the end of the interview, they said, Dan, we're going to let you know here shortly if you have the job or if you didn't have the job. Well, it was right around this time of year, and I went home for the holiday break. And I'm out visiting friends one day, and I'm not sure when they're going to make contact with me, but there's a little light blinking on our phone. Now, you have to remember, this is years ago. Some of you guys sitting here tonight might not know what this is, but it was an answer machine. And on the other end was the person who's my main contact. His name is John from Ceremonies. He said, Dan, give me a call as soon as you can. I picked up the phone. I called him right away. Didn't know what he was going to say, but I thought it might be positive. He said, Dan, we'd like to offer you a job. You're going to start in July. And I'm going to send you out a packet of information. It's the formal offer. And I need for you to take the sheet of paper out and sign it and accept the offer and mail it back to me. I thanked them. We hung up. I was pretty excited. I thought I really don't have much standing in the way here. I have one more semester of school. I'm going to get a letter. I'm going to mail it back to them. I'm going to show up in July. As long as I stay alive, I'll be ready for that. And all I have to do is graduate. So I felt pretty good about the opportunity that was sitting in front of me. Well, I headed back to school, and that spring semester, I started talking to some of my friends. I realized I was a little bit further along than most of my friends. And for whatever reason, I was just a little bit further along. A lot of the guys didn't have jobs yet. And so I thought, this sounds like a pretty good opportunity to maybe adjust a little bit of the way I've been approaching school. So the first way that I looked at it was, I'll call that option A, was to study more than I ever have. Go to every class and try to raise my GPA the last semester. That was option A. Option B was, let's maybe coast a little bit. You know, this last semester is probably not going to change your grade point average that much. You already have a job. Why go give a full effort? Why go to every class? Why study harder? It's probably really not going to matter. And I think I started leaning towards option B. I think I started leaning so fast towards option B that I kind of fell into option C, which was beyond just have some fun and blow off some classes and let's really get this revved up. Let's do it right. If there was an award at the University of Akron for having the most amount of fun in one semester, I think I would have been somewhere in the rankings. There's no rafters where they hang your All-American jersey for that type of thing. That's probably a good thing, but I think I might have been inducted to that Hall of Fame at one point in time. So I had a great semester. When I still see my friends all these years later and we talk about the stories, and for really any guy out there who's probably 45 or older, you can relate to what I'm about to say. We say the same stories each time we get together. They're always funny, but it's really like 7 stories. But we had so much fun that semester. We get together, we laugh, we talk about those things. So that semester was a lot of fun. As that semester closed down, shortly thereafter, we would have our report cards mailed to us. Now, I don't know today. I'm assuming they're online. I'm assuming you probably have a better idea of how you're doing in class by maybe tracking online. But back then, they would mail it to you. And I received my final report card, and I ripped it over. There's some perforated edges, and I was interested in seeing what that final grade point average was. And when I first opened it up, I looked at it, and something didn't seem right. And I looked at it a little closer. I'm like, yeah, maybe there's something going on with that final semester. So as I looked down at the final semester and went through each class, something jumped off. Something jumped off of that report card. Something that I've never seen before in all my years of school. There was a letter grade on there, and to this day I have a hard time saying it. It was a letter in the alphabet that comes after E and is right before G. Now, I thought that had to be a mistake. I've never seen that before. So I went to see my professor and said, you know, I just wanted to grab a quick minute. I think there might be a mistake as I looked down at my grade point average, and he was quick on the trigger to say, Dan, there's no mistake here. Now, if you would have read your syllabus, which means you probably had to come to class to actually receive it, you would have read that attendance for class was a very large part of your grade. And you only came to the classes when there were exams. I said, okay, I understand what you're saying, but do you realize my situation? I already have a job. If I graduate, I get to move on. I'm living the whole process of why I thought I was going to college. I was going to college to better myself and land a job. And he said, Dan, there's nothing I can do. That is the grade you earned. So I was starting to get a little desperate, and I thought, well, how about this? How about I cut you a deal? How about if I tell the entire world that I am the worst student you've ever had. In the entire time you've been teaching, I'm your worst student. I'll start right now. I'll go down to the accounting department, and I'll tell every faculty member, every staff member. I'll take out an ad in the Akron Beacon Journal. I'll tell the world, I'm your worst student. Just give me a passing grade. He was not up for that. He showed me the door, and that was that. I knew I had to take the class over again that summer. When I was scheduling it, I made sure that I changed professors on that one. I thought that might have been a good idea. But more importantly, I had to make a phone call to Sherwin-Williams and let them know that my path has changed. I'm not graduating on time. I was going to take the class over the summer and pass it, but I would not receive my diploma until December of 1992. He let me know that, Dan, that job could not be held for me. Part of what I needed to do was graduate on time. And that was a tough moment of my life. I had everything going in the right direction, and somehow I seemed to not be able to remain on that course. So most summers I would work construction and painting, and I had to continue working that summer, but not only that, I had to work and keep doing that in fall. I did not have a job, and I didn't have my diploma yet. And it made a tough situation to look to interview when you're on a construction job site with construction clothes on, and you need to run home, shower, and throw on a suit and go interview. The whole process was really not ideal. In addition to that, I had taken student loans to get through school, and I had racked up some credit card debt, mostly in the last year, probably mostly in that last semester. And I had those bills coming, for sure the credit card. I had a little bit of wait time on the student loans. But December came of 1992, and I was contrasting that to 1991, and what a difference. In 1991, I thought I had it all figured out. I had landed a job. I just had to graduate. 1992, I didn't have a job. I still didn't have a job. And I didn't feel very good about that situation. But something there did change in 1992. I officially graduated, and I had a diploma. And that I knew I could move forward with. Now, my grandfather had said many times, when you receive your education, that is something you keep with you for life, your entire life. And those are powerful words. No matter what happens to you, Dan, you're going to have your education. And that is the situation for every person in here tonight graduating. You have a degree from the University of Akron, and you're going to have that the rest of your life. And no matter what happens to you, you're always going to have that. And that is a head start on many, many, many people out there in this world. And you should all feel very proud of your achievement. Now, I've considered a college degree to be that goose that lays the golden egg. And I knew that I had to get my life going, even though it wasn't working out quite the way I thought so far. And I had been questioning a little bit about my degree in accounting, and did I want to get into accounting. Accounting is a great profession. But I came from a family that didn't have much money, and I had student loans, and I wanted to really get ahead financially. And my dad said, Dan, if you always outwork other people, you're going to do fine. You get to work early, you stay later, you outwork them. I've been reading some books on sales. I've been reading some books on being an entrepreneur. I thought, you know, I played sports. It's pretty easy to keep score. If I got into sales and the sales quota was 30 widgets a month, and I sold 50 or I sold 60, I'd be doing pretty well. And I'd probably be making more money than maybe I thought at that time. That'd be a good path. So I went into sales. I started off selling copier machines, office equipment. Very, very difficult job. Great training, did that for close to 2 years, and I met up with a friend from the University of Akron who was selling cellular phones. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot today for probably most of you graduating, but cellular phones back then, they weren't around like they are today. If you can think of the people that you know, the amount of people that you know, how many of them do not have a cellular phone? That's probably a pretty small number. Well, back then, it was just the opposite. Think of everybody you know. Very few people had a cellular phone. So that market was ripe, and I went into that, and it was great. I could take some of what I applied from some of the business equipment into cellular phones where there's people that really wanted to buy, and most people didn't have a phone. I did that for 4 years, and I got into some sales management. But something was still hanging out there. I didn't know if I was really going to be able to sell cellular phones the rest of my life. I felt like there still had to be somewhat of a career shift for me, a long-term career shift. So I have my degree in accounting, and I want to say, a bit of a love affair with accounting, with finance, with the tax portion. And I wanted to blend that in with all the skills I learned in sales, all those skills of interacting with people, interacting with businesses, understanding what's going on in their situation and what I can do to help them solve that equation. That was some skills that you build up in the sales field. I blend that with the accounting field, and it led me to financial planning. I thought that might be a good career. I wasn't sure. I did quite a bit of research. I did quite a bit of introspection, asking myself, what are my strengths? I got out a tablet, put a line down the middle. I think they call that the Ben Franklin approach. But nevertheless, I put all my strengths on the left, and I put all my weaknesses on the right. And I wanted to be really, really sure about where I was going. So on those weaknesses, I wanted to be honest with myself and say, if that's a weakness, am I ever going to get any better at it? Because I was approaching 30 years of age, and I thought I'm probably a little set in my ways. So if I'm not good at that, if I'm not a morning person or something like that, I better be honest with myself. So I did that research that led me to financial planning. I started that career. Now, I was about 30 years of age. It was year 2000. And I found myself looking through life, and I had gone from accounting to sales and now to financial planning. In the year 2000, the same year I entered financial planning field, I also got married. My wife, Amy, and I, through the last 15 years that we've been married, we have 2 children now. We have a son, his name's Jack. Jack just turned 9 on Monday. We have a daughter, Riley, who's 7.5. Now, they're somewhere out in the crowd. If you're where I'm standing, it's a little bit dark, I can't see. They're out there, and I think they're out there mainly to see if I screw up tonight. I don't know how well I'm doing, but I can tell you when I get home, I will get a full grade report. Hopefully it's better than my final accounting class. But my wife, Amy, and I, I'm proud to say the last 15 years of marriage have brought us a lot of happiness, and we've been partners in a financial planning practice for the last 15 years. So I'm at that point in time now where I still have quite a bit of my career ahead of me, but I can look back on that road that I've traveled. I can look in that rearview mirror. I can see where I've been. And it's pretty windy. I think my career path has been pretty windy, but I think it's that way for most people. I'm grateful for that windiness. I think if it was straight and smooth, it'd be a little less interesting. And I'm grateful for that. Sometimes I think back, I think there's some movies like that. I think Nicolas Cage's The Family Man, I think a movie of what if your life changed? What if you made a different decision? So what if I was a better student my last semester? What happens if I didn't have so much fun? I graduated on time. I took the job with Sherwin-Williams. What would be? I might not be standing here in front of you right now. Some of you are probably thinking, can he wrap this up? And I wish he wasn't standing here. But I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have met Amy. And if I wouldn't have met Amy, I know I wouldn't have our 2 kids. And I can't imagine life that way. It's been a great journey, and I'm completely happy. I'm very grateful for every twist and turn on my path. I really have no regrets. I would do nothing different. Now, I'd like to close and share one last point of view. For anybody in here graduating tonight, you may think, Dan, you talked a lot about the life ahead, the road ahead. Now, is there a magical map that might be available out there? Some of the twists and turns I'd like to avoid. Is there one out there that I can have? Now, I think if you go to Amazon.com, I don't think you're going to find that map there. I think if you get on Google Maps, I don't think that's going to help you either. I think that perfect map for you is the life ahead that you're ready to charge forward with tonight. And you're going to make that perfect map for yourself, your own way, and your own life. That road is wide open for all of you. And I just wish you the best of luck and take on that road and live and enjoy every moment of it. Once again, class of 2015, congratulations on your graduation.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for
Thank you, Catherine. I now invite Senior Vice Provost Rex Ramsier to come forward as we proceed with the awarding of degrees.
Ladies and gentlemen, by your presence here today, we know that you understand the value of education as it broadens the knowledge and opportunities of our citizens. Universities are also involved in expanding the base of human knowledge. Our faculty and students do so by engaging in research and scholarly activity, which leads to new discoveries. The students you are about to meet have contributed to this process of knowledge creation. Will the Executive Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Chand Mitta, please rise? Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have successfully fulfilled all of the requirements of the graduate school. With the approval of the Executive Dean and the graduate faculty, they are presented to you to receive the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsier. Exercising the authority of the trustees of the University of Akron, legally vested by the people of the state of Ohio, and upon the recommendation of our faculty, I now confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all the highest requirements of this university, the Doctor of Philosophy degree with all the rights, the privileges, duties, and responsibilities of that degree. As evidence of this achievement, you will now be vested with the hood of the Doctor of Philosophy and receive an appropriately inscribed diploma.
Doctors of Philosophy, please come forward to receive your diploma as directed by the University Marshals. We ask the audience to please hold your applause until the last name has been called. From the College of Engineering, receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Ahmed Abu Taleb, hooded by Dr. George G. Chase. Jia Fong, hooded by Dr. George G. Chase. Hassan Atefi, hooded by Dr. Hossein Tavana. Mohammed Habu, hooded by Dr. Anil Patnaik. Bong Lao, hooded by Dr. Anil Patnaik. Ibrahim Shatnawi, hooded by Dr. Anil Patnaik. Yu Han, hooded by Dr. Gary Dahl. Bezad Mahmoudi, hooded by Dr. Gary L. Dahl. Amir Hossein Molavi Tabrizi, hooded by Dr. Gary L. Dahl. Kalyan Chakrawarti Muchela, hooded by Dr. Gary L. Dahl. Zheng Li, hooded by Dr. Lukwang Zhu. From the College of Health Professions, receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Jillian Hatamla, hooded by Dr. Marlene Huff. Selena Tate, hooded by Dr. Karen Jordan. Katie Wooten, hooded by Dr. Karen Jordan.
Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? Mr. President, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree program. With the approval of the executive dean and the graduate faculty, they are now presented to you to receive the appropriate degree.
Congratulations. Again, exercising the authority of the trustees of the University of Akron, legally vested by the people of the state of Ohio, and upon the recommendation of our faculty, I now confer upon each of you who have fulfilled all of the requirements of the master's degree, with all the rights, privileges, duties, and responsibilities of that degree. As evidence of this achievement, you will now receive the appropriate diploma.
Candidates, please come forward as directed by the University Marshals. Again, we ask those of you in the audience to please hold your applause until the last name has been called. From the College of Engineering, receiving the degree Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Abdullah Ali Akorani. Marjan Al-Sadat Kushvipur. Rafael Alibada. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Mohi Atasnia. Yaswanth Chegu. Hosanna Lay. Bijay Subedi. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Ak Arafat. Su Dong. Nilon Galabuda Kankanumge. Vaishnavi Madhuri. Niventhitha Ravikumar. Rikesh Shakya. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Omar Blandon. Bhavya Shri Gorvathi. Greg Pavlik. Nicholas Schopner. From the College of Business Administration, receiving the degree Master of Business Administration, Andrew Benner. Jonathan Bierman. Joshua Bowley. Amanda Philippi. Kathleen Guarna. Celio Ingles. David Mancuso. Joseph Marcion. Brittany Miller. Natapun Ponchok Cha. Renara Ray. Jennifer Sampson. Ida Silva Pinto Baptista. Jennifer Stamp. Frederick Van Brunt, Jr. Andrew Wims. Ladawan Wong Prasert. Christina Wood. Ahmad Zaki Eleya. Receiving the degree, Master of Science in Accountancy, Chow Mu. Igu Chu. Ying Wang. Receiving the degree, Master of Science in Management, Jackson Bomala. Svikar Deshmukh. Natalie Furmanchuk. Yosna Gundla. Yagavendra Kola. Adefami Oyili. Kiran Kumar Gud Pabu. Suwapna Rud Rumaina. Sumanth Reddy Vatukuri. Mark Wolbert. Zishuan Yuan. Receiving the degree, Master of Taxation, Jana Ritchie. From the College of Health Professions, receiving the degree, Master of Arts in Education, Megan Betts. Megan Blazak. Danny Casterline. Brooks Collins Gaines. Deanna Dixon. Jessica Fowler. Mimi Hanley. Brittany Himes. Rebecca Jones. Jessica Lansinger. Courtney Liska. Jamie Maraji. Jasmine Mushington. Renee Popovic. Jennifer Taylor. Bridget Wilson. Receiving the degree, Master of Science in Education, Brian Baker. Sarah Basalo. Nicholas Bykar. Leanna Froelich. Christopher Ginley. Danica Grannon. Amy Lamontia. Mitchell Minard. John Petrenko. Michelle Yohanyak.
It is appropriate at this time that we give special recognition to those graduates who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement in completing an undergraduate degree. On page 14 of your program, you will find an explanation of the criteria for awarding these special designations. Recipients of academic honors are also noted individually in your program. As each group is called, I'd ask that its members please rise and remain standing, and as they do, I ask our audience to take notice of the honors cords, stoles, or medallions worn by these graduates as symbols of their exemplary accomplishments. I also ask that you hold your applause until all have been recognized. Will university honors scholars please rise? Will those graduating summa cum laude please rise? Will those graduating magna cum laude please rise? Will those graduating cum laude please rise? Will those who have been inducted into our collegiate honor societies also please rise? In addition to these scholars, we recognize those who have served our nation. Will candidates who are veterans of the armed forces please rise? Congratulations to all. You may be seated. Now we will proceed with the conferral of undergraduate degrees. Dr. Ramsier.
Will Dr. Mario Garcia, Interim Dean of the College of Engineering, please rise? Will the candidates for degrees from the College of Engineering please rise and remain standing? Will Dr. Robbie Crovey, Dean of the College of Business Administration, please rise? Will the candidates for degrees from the College of Business Administration please rise and remain standing? Will Dr. David Gordon, Dean of the College of Health Professions, please rise? Will the candidates for degrees from the College of Health Professions please rise and remain standing? Mr. President, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements of one of the undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. With the approval of these deans and the faculty, they are now presented to you to receive the appropriate degree.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsier. Exercising the authority of the trustees of the University of Akron, legally vested by the people of the state of Ohio and upon the recommendation of our faculty, I now confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all of the requirements, the appropriate degree with all of the rights, the privileges, the duties, and the responsibilities of that degree. Would you please be seated for just a moment? Now, candidates, as evidence of your achievements, you will be called to the stage to receive the appropriate diploma. Please follow the directions of the university marshals and proceed onto the stage where you will be greeted by your dean.
In appreciation and respect for all of our graduates, we would like you to hold your applause and any acknowledgments of your individual student so that our graduates and their guests are able to hear their names called. From the College of Engineering, receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, cum laude, Hazim Abuola. Magna cum laude, Dylan Beckler. Summa cum laude, Melissa Boswell. Jonathan Clevenger. Magna cum laude, Joseph Drockton, also receiving magna cum laude Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Tao Run, receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Susan Kaya. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Ian Simmons. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Corey Russick. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Engineering, Abraham Zabay. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Jeffrey Anderson. Matthew Baril. Keith Bartels. Magna cum laude, Ruben Close. Ryan Conway. Cum laude, Joshua Daniels. Christopher Gorman. Aaron Jackson. Matthew Knotts. Corey Lawrence. Fatim Musahu. Anthony Romito. William Walker Jr. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Polymer Engineering, Andrew Bruck. From the College of Business Administration, receiving the degree Bachelor of Business Administration, Khaled El Samiri. Mark Anderson. Theodore Baylog. Caroline Bartholomew. Joseph Bellion. David Bender II. Taylor Boss. Chaz Bridenthal. Caitlin Brunn. Eric Burns. Adam Carpenter. Catherine Clements. Wayne Coleman II. Nicholas Conway. Brandon Culver. Jessica Dia. Natalie Demyanyuk. Cassandra D'Antonio. Catherine Downs. Taylor Erdman. Elizabeth Feist. Nicolette Ferlano. Sophia Farrell III. Ryan Fisher. Taylor Frericks. Luke Gagnon. Kendra Guy. Nicholas Heights. Magna cum laude, Brooke Heyman. Cum laude, Britton Henline. Joseph Harris. Cum laude, Adriana Hartman. Xaviera Harvey. Cassandra Hayes. Magna cum laude, Erica Harashik. Magna cum laude, Stacy Horton. Cum laude, Alexander Hudak. Summa cum laude, Stephen Ilovich. Robert Johnson Jr. Cum laude, Matthew Jolkowski. Shayla Kilianik. Jessica Kerr. Summa cum laude, Caitlin Kosar. Nadia Kotichka. Michael Laskowski. Cum laude, Landon Lupton. Cum laude, Madeline Leong. Summa cum laude, Stephen Letterly. Dominic Lofreso. Frank Love. Aiden McNulty. Richard Mihak. Morgan Merhout. Cum laude, Cody Messner. Elizabeth Mock. Summa cum laude, Jeffrey Oblisk. Dominic Odo. Brittany Olstrom. Michael Oliveros. Rachel Osovicki. Aaron Oswalt. Fadik Patel. Jayandre Perrin. Charles Plant. Peter Ra. Brian Raglow, receiving Bachelor of Business Administration in 2 disciplines. Surgeon Reich. Marielle Reynolds. Nathan Smead. Sarah Smith. Catherine Solomon. Barry Stormer Jr. Cum laude, Gina Stouffer. Jacqueline Stoy. Adam Syed. Devin Tegerty. David Thompson. Magna cum laude, Dragana Tripkovich. Cum laude, Fabian Ulrich. Carly Utt. Ian Walsh. Cum laude, Amanda Warner. Stephanie Waters. Nigel Weber. Kelsey Weber. Reed Wiley. Michael Wise II. Alexander Yonner. Summa cum laude, Cheryl Zaber, receiving Bachelor of Business Administration in 2 disciplines. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Accounting, magna cum laude, Caitlin Becca. Sean Bell. Summa cum laude, Jesse Bowes, also receiving summa cum laude, Bachelor of Arts. Leah Boyens. Magna cum laude, Erica Bazulka. Benjamin Carpenter. Cum laude, Nicholas Caruso. Cum laude, David Clore. Cum laude, Thomas Korick II. Zachary Crane. Emily Davis. Jordan DiEugenio. Cum laude, Christian Duckworth. Michael Gubin, also receiving Bachelor of Business Administration. Allison Haynes. Patrick Hogan. Christina Kluding. Wimpeng Len. Nathan Long. Stephen Pepper. Jonathan Pusateri. Mitchell Rhodes. Misty Shadle. Alexander Shannon. Tamara Sharp Houston. Cum laude, Robert Sheeks. Destiny Threet. Nathaniel Wachtel. Matthew Zoller.
From the College of Health Professions, receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts, cum laude, Taylor Daff. Cum laude, Daniel Fording. Summa cum laude, Rachel Michele. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Child Life Specialist, Morgan Murray. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts Social Work, Rachel Bourne. Nia Farrakhan. Heather Hozon. Magna cum laude, Christina Linder. Brandon McCardle. Haley Nelson. Summa cum laude, Judy Nelson. Magna cum laude, Regina Schumann. Elisha Smith. Summa cum laude, Alexander Stosalovich. Cum laude, Ashley Toney. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, cum laude, Andrea Nigro. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, Lauren Baker. Summa cum laude, Albert Caserta. Bruce Seferati, Jr. Ryan Collins. Leanna Corio. Nicholas Tassel. Bridget Dillon. Cum laude, Ethan Farney. Magna cum laude, Mike Fejadellum. Ivory Garcia. Gabriel Gilbert. Andrew Hansen. Summa cum laude, Adrian Hedderly. John Hughes. Andrew Kessler. Cum laude, Daniel Lawrence. Mark Lowery. Austin Likens. Alice Marsh. Tricia Martin. Tyler McCormick. Magna cum laude, Lauren Mills. Vincent Nervo. Ashley Nixon. Abigail Pasco. Cum laude, Sarah Pearson. Joshua Rollison. Miguel Sanchez. Michael Shanuti. Caitlin Stowe. Caitlin Strausser. Sharday Suttles. Brandon Thompson. Joseph Trago. Leah Walters. Cum laude, Hannah Worth. Skylar Willis. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Food and Environmental Nutrition, magna cum laude, Aaron Dode. Magna cum laude, Aaron Dodd. Ryan Jones. Summa cum laude, Alexandra Miro. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing, cum laude, Erica Bryant. Autumn Glass. Derek Graber. Cum laude, Holly Herstein. Erica Hoskins. Emily Jones, also receiving Associate of Arts. Megan Kuhlman. Cum laude, Daniel Nunez. Cum laude, Lauren Patterson. Kuresha Redman. Cum laude, Christy Stetka. Cum laude, Shauna Swab. Magna cum laude, Mary Teisch. receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy Technology, Shen Sun. Receiving the degree Associate of Applied Science in Community Services Technology, Michael Bowker. Mark Colvin. From the College of Business Administration, receiving the degree Master of Business Administration, Prod Georgis, also receiving Juris Doctor.
Class of 2015, it is now time to signify your new status as graduates by turning your tassels to the left side of your mortarboards. Congratulations. Graduates, no one makes this journey alone. You have been supported in many ways by parents, spouses, friends, or other loved ones. In many cases, they have worked and sacrificed much to help you achieve this dream. So it is appropriate that you now acknowledge all your family members and friends who are here today. Please turn to the audience and express your appreciation. I now invite everyone to rise and join Catherine Miller in singing our alma mater. The words are provided on page 41 of the program.
Beside Cuyahoga's waters, stream of amber hue, o'er old book to summit's glory weaves the gold and blue. Hail we Akron sound her praises, speed them on the gale. Ever stand our alma mater, Akron hail, all hail.
Please be seated for the final portion of our ceremony. Graduates, you are now alumni of the University of Akron. I would ask Mr. William Coleman, class of 2008 and 2010, and Director of Alumni Relations, to welcome you into the University of Akron Alumni Association.
Thank you, President Scarborough. And congratulations, fellow alumni. Today, we share in your celebration, for your success contributes to the collective success of our institution, our community, our nation, and our world. You have joined a global network of Akron alumni, which can prove to be an invaluable resource in your professional careers. And I extend to each of you an invitation to build and strengthen our common bond, to be active in the Alumni Association, to extend the legacy of our university both near and far, and to burnish our good name with the luster of your own accomplishments. for there now exists among us an eternal linkage. Your achievements will add to the prestige of this institution, and as the University of Akron's reputation continues to rise, so too will the value of the degree you now hold. On behalf of more than 171,000 alumni worldwide, many of which are here with us tonight, I am pleased and very honored to welcome you as members of the University of Akron Alumni Association. Best wishes in all you do, fellow alumni, and go Zips!
The class of 2015's response will be delivered today by Caitlin Koser. Before she does, allow me to tell you a little bit about this impressive young woman. Caitlin graduates today summa cum laude, having earned a Bachelor of Business Administration in Integrated Marketing and Communications and a Bachelor of Business Administration in Marketing Management with an overall GPA of only 3.99. She graduates from both the College of Business Administration and the Honors College. Caitlin held several scholarships and was president of Beta Gamma Sigma, vice president of Mu Kappa Tau, and member of Mortarboard Honors Society. She also served as a New Rue Weekend leader, lead peer advisor in the Career Center, and co-administrator of the Leadership Development Group program in the College of Business. She gained experiential learning through internships with Today's Business Products, Corporate Technologies Group, and her current employer, the J.M. Smucker Company, in Oroville, where she is involved in marketing trend research, team creative projects, and database business reporting. She is the daughter of Paul Kosar and Kelly Craggs, and is joined here today by her fiance, siblings, and grandparents. Caitlin, we are honored to invite you to address the fall 2015 graduating class. Please welcome Caitlin.
Thank you, President Scarborough, and thank you, Mr. Coleman, for your welcome to the University of Akron Alumni Association. On behalf of the Fall 2015 graduating class, I proudly accept your invitation to continue our relationship with our alma mater by joining the Alumni Association. I would first like to congratulate you, my fellow classmates, on all of your accomplishments. Whether you have reached this point in 3 years, 6 years, or even more, you should be so proud of where you are today. Not everyone can say that they are a college graduate. In fact, only about 30% of adult Americans hold a bachelor's degree or better. So give yourselves a pat on the back. You have come a very long way. Back when we were working at Chipotle, rolling burritos, or at the mall selling clothes, we may have looked forward to the day when we entered the real world. And today, we are counting on the knowledge, skills, and talents we've developed as students to help us get our start as professionals, scholars, and researchers. But remember, those low-wage jobs we work just to help us get by added to our skill set as well. I worked as a peer advisor in the Career Center, and I often had to help fellow students recognize that they were gaining real-world skills every day while making lattes, stocking shelves, or running cash registers. Sometimes it can be hard to give ourselves credit for all of the skills that we have developed over time. Working these jobs may have seemed silly, pointless, maybe even a little depressing at the time, but without knowing it, we were gaining workplace skills that not every graduate has. We learned how to work as a team to fulfill orders and complete tasks. We learned how to help customers who didn't think they needed help and kept our cool even when customers were not keeping theirs. We learned that even our nice bosses, the ones who sympathized with us when we pulled an all-nighter, even those bosses still expected us to be on time. We learned that minimum wage jobs sometimes require maximum work effort, and in that, we found motivation to move a little faster to complete our degrees. We multitasked and managed our time and balanced work, school, and the rest of life as it rushed by. So not only do we have a college degree, but we have many skills and experiences that shaped us into the people we are today. It is important to remember and highlight the strengths that we have developed. Just the fact that we have survived college, remember, only about 30% of the population has done so, demonstrates our ambition and dedication. We have been challenged to develop strengths in communication and critical thinking inside and outside the classroom. At times of doubt about potential grades or futures, we found strengths in problem solving and persistence. And even though we may not have always appreciated them, group projects really did give us all the strength and teamwork that we will use for the rest of our lives. So when you're sitting in your next interview or describing yourself to your next boss, remember all of the wonderful strengths that you have developed. Give yourselves all of the credit you deserve, because I know you deserve a lot of it for all of that you have accomplished. Congratulations, class of 2015. Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was the Akron Blue and Gold, our well-known fight song, which has come to represent so many aspects of excellence and student success at our university. Now, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the many individuals whose good work made this ceremony possible. First, let us thank the artistry of Miss Catherine Miller, our vocalist, Mr. Jeremy Avalos, our guitarist, and Mr. Christopher Blaha and the University of Akron Brass Choir. Also like to acknowledge our university orators, Director of Development Stewardship and Donor Services, Ms. Christine Curry, and academic encourager for student success, Mr. David Harris. Thank you so much. Let's also thank the university marshals, whom you see in their gold robes. These are faculty and staff members who volunteer their time to help organize and facilitate the ceremony. Thank you, marshals. And last but not least, let us thank our interpreter, Mr. John Setterwall, for his important efforts in signing today's ceremonies. Thank you, John. And so we conclude our commencement ceremony on behalf of the trustees, faculty, and the University of Akron family everywhere. I wish you happiness, much success, and many happy returns to your alma mater. And to all of you, best wishes for a very joyous holiday season.
As we conclude our commencement exercises, we ask the stage party to please rise and remain standing. We ask our graduates to rise and remain standing. Guests of our graduates, please remain seated until our recessional has concluded. We also suggest that you meet your graduate in the Goodrich lobby. Thank you for attending the 216th commencement exercises of the University of Akron.